On the Clarity Windows and Doors Newsline, Steve Cotton joins us, a financial strategist and a policy expert. He's the president of Cotton Wealth Management Associates. Steve, welcome to WBAP. I think a lot of folks are wondering, with gas prices being what they are and the Strait of Hormuz being the subject of a lot of speculation right now, what kind of economic impact the blockade is going to have. What do you think?
Well, good morning. Glad to be here. I think I would remind everybody it's really only a partial blockade. President Trump has said he will not be blockading the shipping of our Arab allies in the region. So this is mainly a shipping blockade aimed at Iran's exports to choke off their money supply and also send a message to China that China had better get on board and pressure the Iranians to come to a deal. And it's also a signal to Europe and to NATO to get their act together and come help us with minesweeping and safe escort of shipping.
How could this negatively impact our economy here in the U.S.?
Only if it's a protracted period of 2 to 3 months at elevated oil prices. Oil prices futures, North Sea Brent crude jumped up to about $101 a barrel. This morning, West Texas Intermediate crude jumped up to $104 a barrel. This is not as high as it was, but I think we're in for a prolonged period, a couple of weeks of elevated oil prices, and I think there will be a ripple effect through the economy at all levels.
How long does it take for something like this, kind of the oil shock, if you want to call it that, to affect prices at the grocery store?
Well, it's a ripple effect, and some things are very immediate. I think you see gas at the pump fairly quickly, but there are other insidious effects, such as the effect on the cost of plastics, processed food, pharmaceuticals. These are more subtle, and they have a longer tail. But I think what you see is the price of gasoline and diesel at the gas pump. You see the price of oil when you go to the auto parts store and buy oil for the car. Those kinds of things are very quick. The other and potentially more damaging effects are longer term and, could take 30 to 60 days.
Real quick, I just want to know, let's say this gets buttoned up nicely, everything is fine, the situation is cleared up, best case scenario. What does that mean then now for the American economy and how we move forward? What will that look like?
Well, I think the only real solution to this is going to be regime change. And I think that's what the Trump administration and the Israeli government understand. The Arab countries in the area understand this. This reminds me of the North African Barbary pirates back in 1801 through 1805 who were stopping and raiding Allied shipping in the Mediterranean, the Atlantic. President Thomas Jefferson had to send a flotilla over to take them down and stop their extortion. And the more things change, the more they stay the same, it seems. But I think we're in for a prolonged period, and I don't think it's going to be helpful to the U.S. economy.
Steve Cotton with us, president of Cotton Wealth Management Associates. Steve, thank you so much for coming on. We appreciate it.
Thank you.